Hello, welcome back. So in the previous video we have seen how to create the blend materials. Now in this video we are going to see the mesh painting tool. This is a material which we have created in the previous video. If you double click you can see some of the properties of this material. So I will explain these properties when we start the texture painting, as we have selected the three materials to create the blend material, and these are the three properties for each and every different material it has been created. So if you want to change the color you can change the color of each and every texture, and you will have a lot of settings which I will explain when we start texture painting. So now we are ready to paint texture on this ground here. So now in order to open the mesh paint tool, we need to go to this select mode option, and here you can see there is an option like mesh paint. So and the shortcut is like shift F4, so you can use a shift F4 as a shortcut. So you can use shift F4 to open this mesh paint tool. So if you click on this, now it will open the mesh paint tab. So now before start painting, first we need to apply this material to this ground here. So in order to apply, just we need to left click and drag onto this model. So now see, it has been applied to this ground. So now this has been applied the specific material, because as I explained in the previous video, whatever the material you are going to select in the first, it will be the top layer, and whatever the layer you are going to select in the last, it will be the last layer. Now first of all, we know to start, we need to first click on this paint option. So whenever you select the paint here, you can see there is a brush appears. So if you want to increase and decrease the brush size here, you can use this option here. So you can increase the size of the brush and you can decrease the size of the brush by using this option. Now here is the strength. So suppose if you are going to apply the second material, and if you want to apply it lightly, or if you want to apply it very dark, you can use the strength according to your requirement. So down here you can see there is a paint colors here. So in case if you want to erase or apply the paint, we can use the colors according to the requirement. I will show you shortly. So now here you can see there is a channel option. So there are three channels here at present, like red, green, blue. So what are this thing is, now as we have selected the three materials in the blend material, so each and every material will be stored in single channel. So that means, like for example, if you go to this materials, so if you go to the mega scans and if you go to the surfaces, see here, now let's say suppose this material is been stored in red channel, and this material is been stored in green channel, and this material is been stored in blue channel. So according to our requirement, we will select the channel and we will paint the textures. Now for suppose if I uncheck this green channel and blue channel, and make sure, like when you want to paint the other texture, make sure here in paint color we need to put it to black, so we can switch to this black color. Now suppose if I start painting, see, if I left click and drag, see, now see, it has been painted another material here. See, and if you want to go to the settings, you can increase this fall off also. Suppose if you decrease the fall off, now it will paint little bit harder, and if you increase the fall off, it will paint little bit softer. And suppose in case if you select this green channel and if you remove this red channel, now you can see it will paint another texture. So in this way we can texture paint on this ground here. So make sure you have to remember one thing here, when you're painting any other texture, make sure you have to put the black in the paint color so that we can paint the other textures. So the next, there is a blue channel here. Actually the blue channel is not a ground material, means like as we have created the three materials, so one texture has been packed into red channel, one texture has been packed into green channel. So another, the main material which is there, it's been already defaultly applied, so no need of painting. So what the thing is, the two remaining materials will be packed into this red channel and green channel. So for example, say if you select the blue channel and if you left click and drag, nothing will happen here. So actually this blue channel is used to paint the puddle layer. So what is puddle layer, I will show you. So for example, if I go to this blend material and if you double click on this, here you can see there is an option like use puddle layer. So if I enable this now and select this, and also down if you go, you will see some of the properties for the puddle layer. So for time being, no need of enabling this thing. So for example, I will show you now. So see, Now it's been already applied. So what the thing is, when I use this blue channel and if I left click and drag, you will get this water kind of effect. So see, it's cool. So with this we can create the beautiful ground materials. For example, if you create any riverside ground or something, so let's say in some areas we can put the water so that we can see. Yeah. And also in case if you want to change this color of this puddle, you can go to the blend material properties, and if you go down here you can see the liquid color. So if you enable this and if you click on this, if you change it to green or something, so here you can see now it has been changed to green color. So now if I paint, it will come with the green color texture. And suppose if you want to make this water dynamic, so if you go to the blend material properties, like here you can see there is an liquid wave control. Suppose if you enable this and if you use this like wave speed or something, so suppose if I increase this, and now here you can see there is some sort of movement in the water. So if you decrease this, suppose if I put it to 0, then there is no movement. So see, so we can create the beautiful ground materials using this puddle layer. So at present I'm going to put it to default here, so just I will put it to default, and I don't want to create any liquid kind of thing in the scene which I'm going to create now. So if you want, you can disable this puddle layer. So now now you can see it has been disappeared. Now I want to delete all this material which has been applied, so laterally in the further videos we'll start actual designing here. So if you want to remove and if you want to see the default material, you can go to the paint and you can enable this all these 3 channels, and if you want you can increase the size of the brush and you can hold shift left click and drag so that you will get the original material.